What's good, YouTube? We're back today with another market watch and the first order of business. What's happening with Kozmos? Well, you might have noticed that everywhere, including this channel, the Asian Persuasion 2008, aka Johnny Win, he managed to get first place undefeated with Kozmos, and that's spiking a little bit of hype with it. The first day there actually wasn't really any movement, so this might be more of a calculated buyout by some people, but Cosmojo, it went from $10 to $19 over here, and also 20, you know, there's only one here, and we go over and look at eBay. It's a little bit cheaper at 18, but then jumps to 21. We have independent sellers on both sides. That's going to create a huge price difference between both, but you can't really get multiples very cheap right now. Why is that? Well, it was an easy card to buy out in the sense that it was very low quantity. Kozmo cards sell well overall. Cosmojo is one of the harder cards to get without ever having had a reprint. So, would I suggest getting this right now? No. Whenever I'm explaining a reason to you guys, I'm not justifying it going up. I'm telling you the reason why. And I definitely think that if you wait on this card for a bit, it'll chill out. It's not going to have high meta representation, although it does have a high representation of being tested on DB right now. A lot of people, I think, are trying it out to see how it worked. I ended up facing it on stream yesterday, and I think people really do want to have that good old Kozmo field. It went from, you know, that deck that used to be high tier to being non-existent, so now it's a low tier hero. It's funny how that works in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We hate a deck and then we cheer for it like Necros these days. Well, is there any other card worth looking at? Dark Destroyer is slowly crawling up. It's at 9 for the first ed. It was as low as 5 when I last featured it. I think VCTRFS has been screaming from the skies that he would like to see this card, you know, it's too low. It's too low. Like, why is it so low? I agree. Whenever it hits around 5, I think that around 9, it's about where it should be, 8 to 9. And sometimes it spikes to 18, sometimes it doesn't. That's the only other card I would be watching for Kozmos. Tin Can's still its natural kind of high at $10, I believe. Yeah, it's at 11 here on TCG Player. And then Dark Eclipser is sitting at 645. I think it was 5 last time we looked, so it's crawled up. Dark Lady seems to have crawled up a bit too at 5. But according to that, this is market price. So this was before Johnny's top. Is Kozmo worth it? It's a good deck to have. It definitely has huge non-targetable ships that float down. It's going to be good in a relative term during any meta and playable for a very long time unless they hit it directly somehow again. I don't know that I'd rush to pick it up, but I would definitely wait for these to chill out if I was interested in the deck. I would slowly pick up the rest, though, because it's unlikely it's going to be cheap anytime soon. This price, that's nothing new. So if you've waited on Tin Can this long, you're going to be trying to, you know, pay a bit of a premium for a card that has no reprint. Now, could we see a reprint in something like Premium Gold 4? We could, but it's more likely they'll hit relevant cards to the meta in a set like that. You know, like Ash Blossom and Diagram, those kinds of cards. Now, could we see it in an OP pack? Probably not, in my opinion. Next are the Spirals. The Spirals are spiraling out of control, and we're going to spend a little more time on this one. We've got the $11 quick fixes here. For the supers. This went up overnight. I think it was a forced buyout. I don't know about this one. It just spiked one night. I've been watching it. It's kind of chilling at its spot, but if we go over here, $9, $10, $10, it's on both platforms, and the relist are all high. People are like, this is bought out. I've been waiting for this moment. We're sticking high. You see its market price was $5.76. There's nothing new hyping this other than that it's popular in Japan, and that I believe we have the Link Monster for this deck being one of the first expensive cards to Japan for quite some time. This deck is really, really hyped there, but it's carving its path through the meta. It's really hard to tell if you want to pick up certain things for the deck right now, because Super Agent's up as well. Super Agent at 1548 lowest, jeez. And then it quickly settles in the 1550 range. Like, there's a lot of sellers chilling here, picking this spot to not go lower. Epic Cards and Games over here, shoutouts to them. But yeah, it's just kind of chilling here, and you see it's double its normal market price. Well, over on eBay, we see unlimited 1470, 1475, a little bit cheaper. Somebody has a ton of them right here, $15, holding the line on eBay. So it's a little cheaper on eBay once again. I don't know what I would be picking up for this deck right now. I don't know that this will keep going up or if it'll chill here. I have no suggestion for you. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I knew it would be about here. I figured it would already be here from not being in the Megatons, but now that it is here, I have no clue where it's gonna go. But for things like Spiral Quick Fix, I think these hollowed out cards will settle out until we get the real deck in our hands over here. It's hyping out the hollowed portions of the deck before we even have the deck in our hands. I think this will take a chill before it spikes again. Now, again, we got budget versions, but the rares are going up even. The rares are at $2 here. And if we go and look at Gear Drone's up to like $3. It's crazy. This is a TDIL rare, one of the most open packs. Like, remember how many people were hunting down Desires? $3. Wow. And we go over here, $4 on eBay. It's actually cheaper on TCG. I have price plus shipping lowest first, correctly selected. $4, huh? This is wild. This is crazy. So, the deck is just all over the place. And is there any other piece that's fluctuated that we should watch out for? There's only one more, and it's really Big Red. Is the super rares have bought out again. This was hyped once upon a time before. It's really hard to get the super rare in English, but if you want to get your super rares right now, I've got a little hint for you. You go over to eBay, you type in Spiral Gear Big Red Super, and you can grab German play sets for $5 a piece, $15 for the play set. That's pretty nice, and I think that people just, it's like Lightning. I think it even came out in the same thing as Lightning. It came from an overseas special edition that we did not get here, which I'm pretty sure is the Lightning one. And you have this hollowed out version where the Germans are willing to sell it much, much cheaper than the Euro version of it, and the Euro version is staying expensive for some reason. Although, 2 Spiral Gear Big Red EU at 16, so 8 a piece there, much cheaper than TCG Player. Again, you just got to know where to look, how to scroll down, and how to shop sometimes. And that's what you can do right now. These will probably disappear pretty quick after this market watch, as people like to take a deal, and Spiral players seem to really like to hollow out their deck according to the quick fix buyout. Again, I don't know. Let me look up Quick Fix Rare on eBay to make sure it's 2 as well. Yeah, 285 low. So you're actually saving money on the rares on TCG Player here. Golly, this buyout's insane. So, is this justified? Is this as good as it will be? Well, Spirals we've seen mixed with Zoo, so even if Zoo doesn't fully get hit in our meta, it's highly likely that this deck will overperform until they hit it in some way, shape, or form. It really seems like Circuit Break, their Link Monster really breaks in this deck. It counts as a super agent, so your quick fixes do what you want them to do. I really think that overall, it's going to be one of the top meta decks. I think everyone has realized how good this deck is. Its loops are insane. Its 2-card combos are insane. And when you can do what you can do with 2 cards, such as this deck, oh yeah, it's gonna really leave its footprint on the meta. So I would say, between this market watch, Kozmo justified. It did well at a regional. I don't think it'll have that much of an impact, but it's still good to have. I would not get at high prices. But Spirals, oh yeah, this deck, this is going to be probably the deck. You know how they say the deck? Like, you should be playing the deck. It's Zoo right now. It was Necros, even though BA won that Nationals back then. I think this is, in a sense, the deck in terms of the deck to beat and the deck to play and figure out how to play. coming up. Thanks for watching, guys, and what do you think? Am I overselling the spirals? Are they just not that good? I know there's a lot of non-believers. I've watched the comment sections. There's a lot of non-believers on these cards, and there's a lot of people who really think it's the next, like, huge thing. I personally am in the camp that thinks it's the next huge thing, and it seems like the secondary market is starting to figure that out. It was a little slow at first, but it really does seem like it's beginning to get everywhere. Like, market price 30 cents. This is a 10x increase. Where's Quick Fix? We've got a market price 181. So he was already up. You needed 3. He was in all the combos. But now Gear Drone is heavily needed in the deck. Like, it already was, but now it's part of the combos. So it seems its hype is just insane too. And we have 18 total prices. People could come in and make sure they're selling theirs auto, but the lowest near mint is $3. On eBay. It's a weird day when you see eBay prices higher than TCG on a hyped card, right, boys? But thanks for watching. Give this a thumbs up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Which of these 2 decks would you be picking up, if either, or is it a neither? And let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about these price increases on both decks. Is it just hype on both? Is there a solid backing on the spirals? I certainly think there is myself, but let me know why or why not, in your opinion. I'm not trying to overhype something that's already getting hyped, but I definitely am a believer in the deck and its loops.